Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting. I am Josh, and with me as always, Dustin and Rex.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I got stuck on your name.
I know.
Dustin.
Stroked out on me, man.
Yeah. Scary.
It's been one of those days.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that right
yes.
Tell us how hard it is that you don't work tomorrow.
now. I got to work today. There was no one was there. The gates were locked.
Really?
Yeah. I had to sit outside until it was time to go in. And finally, somebody showed up to open the gates to let us in.
Did you think they closed down and didn't tell you?
Oh, I was like, I'm telling you right now, somebody don't show up at 7, I'm leaving. Put my car in gear and somebody pulled up. I was like, dang. Should have just left.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Instead, here I am doing podcasting.
Yeah.
Good times.
Back for another day.
My real job.
Right.
Pay sucks, but
It worse than sucks.
Yeah.
but it's still a good time.
2 years in, and I still can't buy a whole box of ramen.
Dude, all I know is I remember you saying 2 years in we was going to be living in mansions.
I thought we
know.
was, but I guess not.
2 years later, I'm broke from the studio.
We haven't advanced anything, and Rex went in the hole.
Yeah.
We sold him false dreams.
Yes, you did.
Jesus. If it wasn't so fun, we would probably...
I think it's more of a hobby now than anything else.
It is.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was an expensive hobby.
Hey, have you paid for gas lately? It's expensive to drive down here.
I guarantee that's still cheaper than what this was.
Give us a week.
Maybe about 30 years.
So, how's everybody doing?
Exhausted.
I know you are. I'm like, I'm working all the time.
Dude, that's all I do now.
So we need to make this episode the one that
Makes us famous.
yes. So
Let's do it.
I'm bringing the heat in evil facts today. So
Ooh.
hopefully that'll be a good start.
Yeah, bring it.
We'll judge that.
All right. So then let's just go ahead and do some evil facts.
Okay. Evil facts.
I'm going to start with a more of a story, like a mini story.
Yeah.
But I thought it was an interesting fact because I'm pretty sure everyone's going to know who this is. Does the name John Jameson ring a bell for anyone?
He made Jameson whiskey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now check this out. In 1886, James Sligo Jameson, grandson of John Jameson of whiskey fame, set off as the only Irish officer on Henry Morton Stanley's Eamon Pasha relief expedition. It was a British expedition up on the Congo River. Jameson is remembered for one horrific incident at the town of Ribikiba, which is now Lokendu. There, in conversation with a local chief about the practice of cannibalism, he purchased a young girl for 6 handkerchiefs.
What?
And made sketches of the scene as locals stabbed, dismembered, and ate her.
Wow.
What?
Jameson wrote to his wife that it was a misunderstanding, that he handed over the 6 handkerchiefs as a joke, and was horrified when the men brought out the young girl.
Wow.
Mrs. Jameson, as she is known to history, wrote to the New York Times in defense of her deceased husband, claiming Jameson didn't even have anything to sketch with at the scene of the cannibalistic murder he facilitated, and that all the sketches he made of it were done later when he had returned to the safety of his tent. So that makes it better.
Yeah, right.
He's not a bad guy. He didn't even have a pencil. So you think about that next time you're sipping on some Jameson whiskey.
Yeah, don't drink Jameson.
Nope.
It's a rough one.
Murderers.
It's a cannibalistic Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Worldwide, less than 40% of women who survive violent crimes seek help. Less than 10% of those women seek help from police. In Brazil, a country with one of the highest rates of violence against women in the world, some police departments are trying to change this. They have started creating women's police stations, entire precincts staffed with women personnel and women officers only. Studies have shown that the women living in municipalities with women police stations have better relationship with the police and feel safer. Women in these areas are more likely to be comfortable reporting abuse and seeking help. And women police stations are subsequently associated with a 17% reduction in homicide among women ages 15 to 49 in the municipalities where they are located.
Interesting.
I like the idea.
An all-women's police station.
Yes.
I would totally walk out in front of it butt naked. Like, don't arrest me. Don't arrest me. Oh, no.
I think that defeats the whole purpose. Maybe that's what they're trying to fight.
Is that guy out there naked walking around?
They're like,
my luck, they'd call the all-men's police station to come get me.
They'll be like, why has he got a Vienna sausage on him?
Which brings me to my final evil fact for the day. A gentleman by the name of Robert Picton, who was also known as the Pig Farmer Killer.
In Canada?
He fashioned a dildo to the barrel of his 22 caliber revolver to act as a makeshift silencer.
Don't do that.
Wow.
That's rough.
Yeah.
So you just walking around with a dick gun? Did you see it? It sounds like the start of a bad porno.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Somebody coming around the corner with a dick gun.
Imagine being shot with a 22 revolver with a pecker hanging on the front of it.
I'd be mad.
Yeah. Well, first you'd be laughing because no one's going to take anybody serious with a gun that has a penis attached to the end of it.
Oh,
wow.
God. There's so many things I can say right now.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So Robert Picton, the Pig Farmer Killer. I feel like they missed a chance at a different nickname with Robert Picton.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we could come up with a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, is your evil facts for the day.
Nice.
So,
Yes.
are we ready to rock and roll on this story today? Dustin?
Yes.
Dustin, are you with us?
No, he's
Let's do it.
dicking around on his phone.
You're gonna mess around and Picton's gonna come out with his pecker gun and shoot you. Well, buckle up, Evil Mob, as we discuss John William Byrd Jr. So on today's episode, we're going to do things just a little bit different. We're going to dive right into the murder. So there was no foreplay this week. Foreplay last week, none this week.
Wow.
On April 17th, 1983, John Byrd and John Brewer entered a convenience store wearing masks and carrying knives in Hamilton County, Ohio. Hamilton County is in southern Ohio and includes cities such as Cincinnati, Blue Ash, and a few other smaller cities.
Did you just boo
Yes,
Cincinnati?
he did.
Oh, it was an accident.
Yeah, whatever. It's the best city in the state.
Once inside the store, they encountered 40-year-old Monty Tewksbury. He was a married father of 3 who worked full-time at Procter & Gamble, and was working at the store for extra money. What kind of job do you have at Procter & Gamble that doesn't pay you well enough?
No, it was 80s. Early 80s.
Yeah, yes. Next, the pair forced Monty to open the cash register. Monty was then told to hand over his watch, wedding ring, and wallet. Without hesitation, he gave the two robbers what they were asking for. After giving up everything, Monty stood there with both hands raised above his head. Out of nowhere, John Byrd stabbed Monty once in the side so hard it penetrated his liver and caused massive internal bleeding.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah.
That's a deep penetration.
Deep and hard.
Really?
Nope. Tell your story.
Huh.
Before leaving, Byrd and Brewer ripped the phone out of the wall. A person was driving by at the time the pair were fleeing and spotted them getting into a red van. After stabbing Monty and getting away with a whopping $133.97, Byrd and Brewer hit another gas station, but this one did not turn out as they had planned. The clerk watched them come in and knew what was happening, so he fled to a back room and locked the door. Byrd gave chase and tried breaking down the door, but was unsuccessful. Next, Byrd and Brewer attempted to take the money from the cash register, but were unable to get it open, so they just took the whole thing with them.
Wow.
I'm taking the whole damn thing. We're out of
Just
here.
take it all! These two might be the worst robbers ever, because once again, they were spotted running from the store by someone who lived in the apartment complex that was directly behind the gas station. So they've committed 2 robberies now. Let's flip back to the original one with Monty Tewksbury. And despite him being severely injured, he was able to make his way outside of the convenience store into a payphone where he was able to call his wife Sharon and tell her he had been stabbed and ask her to call the police and an ambulance. While waiting for help to arrive, a customer showed up at the store and noticed Monty was bleeding from his stab wound. The man then helped Monty inside and was able to get the phone hooked back up and was able to talk with Sharon to give her updates on her husband. Sharon arrived at the store before the police and paramedics and was able to talk with Monty and get a description of the person that stabbed him. I mean, it's pretty bad that she makes it all the way to the store before police and paramedics.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's a man stabbed, and they're like, we're going to finish this coffee, and then we'll go.
Pretty much.
When paramedics arrived, they rushed Monty to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, he was alert and was able to speak with the paramedics, saying, I don't understand why I was stabbed because I had cooperated and complied with the robbers. I don't know about you guys, but that's just sad.
Yeah.
I mean, this man is literally as innocent as they come. Once they arrived at the hospital, Monty was rushed back for emergency surgery, where he was unfortunately pronounced dead at 1:15 a.m. after his heart failed on the operating table. After speaking with the witnesses at the scene and gathering information, the police put out a bolo for a red cargo van. As fate would have it, 2 police officers from Forest Park in Hamilton County were stopped taking a lunch break in a Kmart parking lot when they noticed a red van matching the description pull in and turn off their headlights.
That shows you how old this story is.
With Kmart?
Kmart.
Yeah, but how good are these guys to pull into an empty parking lot? This got 2 police officers sitting in it, and then they turn off the lights. Like,
Genius.
that's not a red flag in the red van.
As the kids nowadays say, that's sus.
So
Yeah.
sus,
Oh,
bro.
God. Don't get me started on that. I hate that phrase.
That's so sus, bro. After just a few minutes, the headlights came back on and the van left, but only to return 5 minutes later. Super sus.
Were the cops like hidden? Like they hadn't just been sitting in the middle of an open parking lot, just like
Yeah,
Wow.
but
Like, is that,
now you know for sure, hey, something's going on.
Uh-huh.
Even though they apparently don't know anything about the bolo on the red van,
Yeah.
this red van's like giving itself up. Like nothing more suspicious than a van pulling in, shutting its lights off, waiting 5 minutes, turning the headlights on, leaving, and then coming back to do the same thing.
Right.
So this caused the officers to get suspicious, so they decided to follow the van and pulled it over when it entered the parking lot of another convenience store. Pure luck there, maybe. Brewer exited the van and told police his name was David Urey.
what a shitty name.
But when asked by police why he was in the area, he couldn't come up with a good enough reason, which caused them to go check out the other two passengers. Ooh. So there's another guy we don't know about. Police approached the van and found William Woodall, the driver, and John Byrd in the back. So William Woodall decided to join the party.
He shouldn't have.
No, he was just the driver. But now you're an accessory.
Yep.
They both were asked for their IDs, and when they ran those IDs, they came back with no outstanding warrants, but noticed that they were both prior felons. The police then shined their flashlights in the car and noticed loose change, masks, a knife, and a credit card with the name Sharon Tewksbury on it. On top of that evidence, they also found fresh blood on the driver's seat in a drawer from a cash register. So nothing says, hey, look what we did.
Yeah, right.
Like all of that.
Yep.
Byrd, Brewer, and Woodall were all arrested and charged with aggravated murder and 3 counts of aggravated robbery. John Byrd was also charged with 2 death penalty specifications because he was, quote, the principal offender. Brewer and Woodall were tried separately and both were convicted of aggravated murder and robbery. Both were sentenced to life in prison. Woodall died from cancer in prison on April 8th, 2001. So like I said earlier, Byrd was tried as the principal offender, which in Ohio means that he was the actual killer. Byrd denied any involvement, saying that he was just riding around in the van, drinking, and ended up passed out. That's all I was doing, drinking it up in this van.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And when I woke up, I had blood all over me.
But the evidence does not lie, folks. They found blood on his pants, blood on the back of the driver's seat where Byrd was sitting, and he was in possession of Monty's watch. So all things that don't happen if you're passed out drunk.
Right,
on the
yeah.
back of the van.
I woke up with the dead dude's watch on my wrist.
John Byrd was found guilty and sentenced to death on August 19th, 1983. Byrd spent the next few years appealing his conviction, and on March 15th, 1995, he came within 45 minutes of being executed before the Sixth Circuit Court.
Imagine that. Just imagine that for a minute.
Yes.
45 minutes.
Yep.
Some scary shit.
Yeah.
45 minutes too late is what I like to say.
Yes.
On August 23rd, 2001, Byrd's clemency was rejected in a 10-1 vote, stating that his claim that Brewer is the one that killed Monty lacks credible evidence.
Well, I mean, it's because they analyzed the footprints at the scene.
Yeah.
And
It's called forensic evidence.
yeah, well, they had a footprint on the counter. Okay.
Where he jumped over.
Well, that was Brewer that jumped over the counter to steal the money from the cash register, which made them believe that Byrd is the one that did the killing while he was robbing it.
Yeah, it didn't have nothing to do with the fact he was covered in blood. And had
Right,
his watch,
yeah.
But how bad is that he's like blaming the other dude? And like, it wasn't me, it was him. 7 months later, on February 16th, 2002, then Governor Bob Taft accepted the board's recommendation and denied John Byrd clemency. His postponement of the death penalty may have been a blessing in disguise. he originally picked to be executed by the electric chair, stating that he didn't want to be euthanized like a dog. But by the time his execution came around, they have passed a bill making lethal injection the sole means of execution in Ohio. Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be put down like a dog.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty much what you did to Monty, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Put him down like an animal.
Yep.
On February 19th, 2002, John William Byrd was put to death by lethal injection at the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Lucasville, Ohio. His last words were, "What you are witnessing for whosoever is here for this state-sanctioned murder is a cowardice way of hiding behind the state seal. You don't know what you're doing."
Some good last words.
And then they put him to death.
And then he was dead.
Yep.
That is the story of John Byrd.
So, do you think he did it?
Absolutely.
100% you think because there's stuff about he's not the one that did it.
They should have put all of them to death. Or at least both of those guys. The driver, they should have just beat with a wrought iron, hot wrought iron.
Oh, yeah.
They should have beat him with that and then shoved the hot iron up his ass.
The wrought iron up his tooter.
The wrought iron right up his pooper.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
So you're saying he did it?
I'm saying nothing's telling me he didn't.
That's how I kind of felt too. Because I was reading stuff about how, he's innocent, and then I'm like, but where?
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's always going to be. I'm sure there's people out there with Ted Bundy like, he didn't do it. I'm telling you right now, he didn't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a common thing. Nobody wants to die. There's only a few of them that are like, it was me, put me in the chair. You know what I mean? Like, human nature is going to be like, nah, it wasn't me. I don't want to die. So, I mean, you got to prove it to me that without a doubt that, I mean, I know it's supposed to be without a shadow of a doubt they're guilty. But if you can't prove to me that you didn't do it, isn't that pretty much the same thing? It is in my book. That's why I'm not a judge.
There was actually an activist from Columbus that said that if you can't prove it without, a shadow of a doubt, then you can't execute him. And they said with that case, you can't prove it 100% that he did it. Therefore, they shouldn't put him to death.
I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense. That way, you don't execute innocent people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Carlos de Luna.
Poor guy.
I know. Hey, old Bob Taft said, hold my beer. You going.
You going.
You going.
You going now. Hold my beer. I wonder if Bob Taft drank beer.
I'm sure he did.
Probably Coors.
I don't know. I don't think he wasn't that fancy. He was like a Busch Light guy.
Busch.
The old George
Yes.
W.
What about that Busch Light commercial where Kenny G's playing in the mountains? That's great.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap that episode up. What do you got for me, Rex?
Go to our Facebook page, give us a like. Any comments, questions, ideas, you can email us at eviltransgression@gmail.com.
Is that it?
Yes.
I had you second guessing, didn't I? That you skipped something.
Negative.
Because you're asleep over there.
Pretty much.
Go to eviltransgression.com. Check out our links. Leave some reviews. And check out the old merch.
Yep.
Merc.
The old merc. So,
I'm going to have to get on and get me some new Merc.
you should.
Do it.
You know who doesn't sport Merc?
Dustin.
Dustin.
That's so cute you say that. Let me show you.
Oh, looky
Ooh,
here.
what's this?
Oh,
Wow.
I got the original shirt on.
oh man.
Right meow.
And you've got THO.
Right from Courtney.
Yep.
Courtney made us these.
Yep. I don't have THO because I don't have nipples.
Oh, you don't?
I got them removed.
They're inverted.
They are. That's what happens.
I'm actually surprised. Of all the times I call you out on stuff, I'm actually blown away that you have.
Yeah, me too.
You actually have an evil transgression.
I remember we were recording this morning and I seen this and I'm like, I'm gonna put it on.
Ooh.
It was a sign.
Yeah.
Somewhere somebody knew that I was going to call you out on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It didn't work for you.
It's covered up though.
It's because it's cold here.
What?
Me and Rex aren't wearing pants, and you're worried about the
Right, yeah.
It's like 50 degrees in this state.
It's 54.
Yeah,
Whatever, Rex.
that's swimming weather where I come from.
Yeah, pretty close.
Where I come from, that's eating chicken on the front porch and swimming in a creek. Is it a crick or creek?
It's a creek if you're not
Creek.
married to your sister.
Crick. Is it wash or wash?
It's wash because there's no R in wash.
It's totally wash.
Hey, how many times have you heard instead of wash rag, wash rag?
Oh, dude, that's what it is.
all
It's
the
a wash
time.
rag.
And for yous that don't know, I'm married to Josh's cousin, and she also says wash in wash rag. And it's the most hillbilly thing ever. And my oldest says it, and I'm like, spell it. Thank you.
W-A-S-H. Wash. Wash. I need a wash rag.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
If you're going to say wash, it's not even a wash rag. It's a washcloth. It's a wash rag or a washcloth.
It's a wash rag. Do you have any wash rags?
What are we even talking about?
I don't know.
Because you and your hillbilliness.
I do go off on a tangent.
That's what people like, though. They always tell me, I love your guys' banter. It's the best.
And there's a lot
It's
of people that's like,
refreshing.
you guys need to shut up.
I know.
Just stick to the facts.
So here's a fact for you.
Okay.
I know it's not an evil fact, but Richard Ramirez once said this. Even psychopaths have emotions if you dig deep enough. But then again, maybe they don't.
Huh.
That was stupid.
That was words straight from the Night Stalker.
Yeah.
He wasn't educated, was he?
He's not. Go to eviltransgression.com, buy our stuff, join Patreon, send us your beautiful comments, and keep on keeping on.
Yep. Yep.
So until next time,
See ya.
See ya.
peace.